My name's Anni Becker, and one of my passions is community work. And I like to do fundraising and just general event planning, mostly tying art and music into, the events that I do, because I think that art and music are really great ways of bringing people together into a gathering space and, for the greater good. It's kind of like an imaginary thread that draws from my heart, and it connects me with the people in the community, and I just feel driven to help people, and I don't know why. When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was feeling some sort of like a void. I felt lonely. I didn't really know that many people around here, and something was put in my lap, and it was this cause. I felt very passionately about the cause because my grandmother died of brain cancer, and it was for a woman who died of brain cancer, and I knew. It was like the message was so clear to me, that I couldn't deny it. Ryan and I, we would run into each other at the coffee shop or just around town, I don't think we got super close to each other or friendship-wise really fast, but it was just kind of like those, hey, and I think that guy's awesome, I would just see him and I'm like, there's something about that guy. When Ryan found out that he had a tumor on his spine, it was one of those situations where I was like, I have to do a fundraiser. And so I approached pop culture and I asked the bands that played, and then I gathered a couple of Ryan's friends that I also am friends with now through the fundraiser, which is really cool. And we all just planned, we planned this fundraiser. Mo Duncan was my partner in crime for it. She was awesome. She got a bunch of donations for the raffle, and and so now, it's still going on, and hopefully it'll, we'll be able to raise a good amount of money. The GRACE Project stands for Grassroots Art for Creative Empowerment. And we've done a handful of projects in the last couple of years, and it's bringing art and art supplies to homeless shelters or at-risk youth, whether it be in schools or other programs in the community. And it's a very small project. It hasn't, it hasn't grown very much, but it has touched people. And I think that's what matters the most. The first project that we did was at Open House Family Shelter. And it was with the kids there. They were between the ages of 5 and I think about 13. And there are kids who are homeless. They're without a home, and they're all living in a little tiny apartment with their whole family. My project, basically what I wanted to do with them was bring them some maybe abstract art, something to think about. A lot of them get to do the crafty type stuff, but I really wanted to kind of push them in a way that they hadn't been pushed before. We did mixed media self-portraits, and I didn't guide them very much. I just gave them materials, and I showed them what I made. We basically said, so express who you think you are with these materials. And it was really, really beautiful what they came up with. One of the little girls there, and this is my favorite story from the GRACE Project so far, but one of the little girls, she was creating what was it? It was some sort, it wasn't I think it was the self-portrait one, and she had a pencil, and I told her that there are no rules in art. She was a little sassy. She picks up her pencil and she goes, oh yeah? She goes, well then can I glue this to my self-portrait? And I said, yes you can. And she just looked at me, and I thought it was so cute. And she did. She glued it, and it actually made the piece. Getting kids to step out of that box. That's how great art is made. That's how true expression is made, is when you step out of that the constraint that you have for yourself. It was like the end of 2008. I met Ossie Bladine, and he's the editor-in-chief of the Vancouver Voice. And him and I are music freaks. Him more so than I. He's way into it. One day, he had mentioned something about a music festival. I think his name for it was Swash Fest or something. It was something really funny. Yeah, Southwest Washington Music Festival. I think that's what it was, Swash. And we would go past this empty, there was a park, like an empty vacant lot right across from the Clark County Historical Museum. And we were dreaming of it being there. In the midst of all of these things that we were doing the last 3 years, like, you know, him running the newspaper and him running a gallery, and then me, you know, with my photography and my art and fundraising and all of these things that I was doing. Well, early this year, I can't remember what sparked it. I think he just said something like, I'm just gonna do it. Well, and I said, you're not doing it without me, you know? And I said, I'm on board, you know? I said, I'm totally on board. And so he was really excited, I was really excited, and the name was CouvFest Northwest. And it was one of those things. Neither one of us knew what we were doing. Sometimes I thought that it wasn't gonna happen just because it was, you know, just little things that would happen. You know, we didn't have a stage till the day before. We were totally winging it. The bands stepped up and volunteered their time, and that was really meaningful to me because I know what it feels like to create your art for free, or to, you know, to do your artwork for free. I mean, we had estimated about 1,000 people went through, and there were 10 bands that played at the final music festival, and the crowd was loving it. There were a couple of the transient men at Turtle Place that got up and danced, and they were so full of joy, and it was so sweet because, you know, they don't normally get to see a music festival, and it was beautiful to see the diversity at the music festival. From, you know, the little babies to I saw a little grandma, she was dancing. I think for me, the biggest surprises have been friendships, personal friendships that I've developed with people. It blows me away that this community is full of so many amazing people. There are a lot of talented people, a lot of generous people, and just people that are very real. That is what makes a really powerful community. I don't feel the need to exclude anyone in anything. I know what it's like to feel excluded. The diversity of a community is what makes it, you know, is what creates the beauty of the town or the place that you live. When you find out what a community is truly passionate about, that's when true change can happen.